I wanted to talk about The Thing, not Marvel's Thing. This is Ben Grimm, created in 1961 by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. So it's not this thing. And it's not this thing either. This is The Thing from the Addams Family, created in 1954 by Charles Addams. I want to talk about this thing, John Carpenter's Thing from 1982. Possibly the greatest remake that people don't realise is a remake. And it's a remake of The Thing from Another World that came out in 1951. It's one of John Carpenter's favourite films, which is one of the reasons why he wanted to remake it. But it was based on a book that came out in 1938 called Who Goes There? And there's not a lot of things that are the same between all three versions. Obviously, the 1951 version is less grotesque and horrific than 1982's version. But it does have things that are similar. Basically, the alien saucer, the Arctic, the dog, the research station. But what we want to talk about is The Thing. John Carpenter's Thing is a fantastic cult horror movie starring Kurt Russell and Keith David. Starts off with a dog being shot at by someone in a helicopter. The dog makes it to the base, but the shooter does not. And what happens next is a tense, paranoid roller coaster of a movie. And then, in 2011, they had a prequel called The Thing. And people thought this was a remake of the John Carpenter film, so they didn't see it. That's why I didn't see it when it came out. I had no interest in seeing it. But it's actually with the Norwegian science team that we end up seeing the remains of in the 1982 thing. And a lot of things line up with the block of the ice where the thing comes out of, and the axe, and the deaths. Some deaths are matched up. The CGI is horrific, but not in the way that you would hope. It is so bad, sadly. I have seen rough cuts of animatronics, and they are so much better. But the studio demanded the CGI replaced all the practical effects. So that's just sad. It will always be compared to John Carpenter's The Thing. Even though setting it as a connected prequel, it tried to avoid that. It's just nowhere near as good. And then in 2002, The Thing had a sequel in the form of a video game, aptly named The Thing. So we have a prequel and a sequel, and all named the same thing as the movie. I'm sure that won't confuse anyone. The video came out in 2002 on the PlayStation and Xbox. It did get a remaster called The Thing Remastered on modern consoles, obviously such as Switch and PlayStation 5. It's a squad-based third-person shooter survival horror game, and The Thing managed to survive the events of the film. Childs, the Keith David character, ended up dying of hypothermia at the end of the movie. At the start of the game, you find his body, and R.G. McCready, which is the Kurt Russell character, basically his recordings you find out through the game that help you, and he turns up as the helicopter pilot at the end of the game to help you out. But the problem with sequels is it takes away the ambiguous sort of way in which the film ended. So, you know, the ending that you've made up yourself it makes an ending for you. It forces it. But if you've never seen The Thing, of the many things or any of the things, I do urge you to see the John Carpenter Thing from 1982. It is genuinely fantastic. As McCready once said, nobody trusts anybody now. and we're all very tired.